Hey guys, it is Christina here. For those of you who don't know me, I am a naturopath, I'm a herbalist, I'm a GAPS practitioner, which stands for Gut and Psychology Syndrome, and Gut and Physiology Syndrome, and I am a life coach. So I do all of those things as well as helping to support women grow their wealth from a business point of view as well. And so today wanted to come and talk about was, say hi when you jump on, let me know you're here. But what I wanted to come and talk about today was like wearing your tiredness as a badge of honor. And I say this from this place of knowing that that's what I did, knowing that it wasn't that long ago when I would get to the end of the day and I would be either really exhausted or I would be sleeping late in the morning the next day. So I might stay up late working with clients, but then the next morning I'd be like, don't wake me up, I'm hiding underneath my covers, because I was just struggling with some energy levels at that point. And recognizing, and it's actually not until reflection, hey Catherine, nice to see you here. But it's not until reflection that I actually started to realize that I was kind of wearing being tired as a badge of honor. Like if I'm tired, it's because I've done stuff. See, like, I'm tired because I'm doing stuff, I'm making stuff happen, all of that. And what I really didn't actually realize was that it wasn't that the stuff that I was doing in my life was making me tired from I'm doing so much, because I'm a high energy person. Like my personality typing is one that is high energy. If you're looking at it from a disc personality point of view, like I'm a DI energy. And so the D energies have a lot more forceful, robust energy than, some, like say a C energy type. So D's are like a 4 and a C energy is like a 1. And so I'm in this high energy space. So it's within the doing stuff that I generally get energized, because I'm also a strong constitutional type. And from iridology, a strong constitutional type likes to move. They don't necessarily like to sit down and be still. They like to move. And that is absolutely true for me. Whereas, say a less resilient energy type, they can happily just take a moment and sit down, and like that helps to re-energize them. Whereas a strong energy type, they have to get moving, they have to do stuff that actually helps them to re-energize. And so that was absolutely true for me, that I knew that by doing stuff I felt re-energized and it felt really good for me. But I was also having this energy deficiency type thing going on, where I was maybe burning the candle at both ends. Well, that's what I'd been telling myself, that I was burning my candle at both ends, that I was pushing, that I was striving, that I was doing all of this stuff, and I was wearing this badge of like, oh, I'm tired, as a sort of badge of honor. Like, look, I'm doing stuff with my energy. I'm busy. I'm doing a multitude of things, and it was this badge of honor. And I see people wearing different badges of honor. For some people, it's like the birth. And I did this with my birth too. My first birth, for example, was like really shocking. It was a 24-hour labor. And then I had to have a C-section to get her out. And then halfway through the C-section, my epidural stopped working. And so I could feel the actual operation that was going on. I had a gas mask on. Like there's all of this stuff that was happening during that birth that was kind of like my badge of honor. Like I'd received this badge because I'd gone through all of this stuff. And I see some of my clients doing that as well. And part of my work with them is actually to help them realize they don't have to wear those badges of honor, whatever it is, whether it is that they've identified themselves as their illness, they don't have to wear that as a badge of honor anymore, that they can put it down. That whether they've identified themselves with lack of energy, or I'm an adrenal fatigue, or I'm a stressed type, and they've actually claimed what's actually going on in their body as who they are, and they then wear them as badges of honor. And part of my work is actually to help them realize you don't need that as a badge of honor. You don't need to feel exhausted at the end of your day to know that your day was a productive day. You don't need to struggle to wake up in the morning to know that you're valuable and what you do is actually enough. Like you don't need that. And Melanie is saying, yeah, I see that in people too. And I've been guilty of it in the past. And absolutely, I've been guilty of it in the past. Absolutely 100%. And that's why I can see it in other people, because we see in others what we, know is within ourselves. And so I can see it in others because I can see that that's what I did as well. And we can actually let go of those badges. We can let go of those things and we can put them down. There is some mental stuff there that has to take place, is realizing that you're valuable for just who you are. That nothing else. You were born worthy. Nothing's changed. You are still worthy. You were born lovable. Nothing's changed. You're still lovable. You were born enough. Nothing's changed. You're still enough. It's only us who defines whether we're enough, lovable, or worthy, because it's from within that we actually recognize that there isn't anything you need to do to prove that you're lovable. There isn't anything you need to do to prove that you are enough. There isn't anything you need to do to prove that you're worthy, because you are so worthy just because you have air in your lungs. You are worthy, enough, and lovable. But it's actually up to us to receive those feelings. We don't get them forced upon us, because if they do, like, you might have somebody come and give you a compliment, and that compliment is, oh my gosh, you're so amazing, I really love spending time with you, it makes me feel so great. We can reject the crap out of that, and we can hear that in really different ways. Someone can literally be saying to you, oh my God, you are so amazing, I love spending time with you. But if your internal messaging is saying, I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable, I'm not enough, you're going to delete that information like there is no tomorrow. Or you'll distort the information. So it's coming in, but you actually don't hear it that way. You hear, oh, they think that I'm not enough, so they've got to try and build me up, and they've got to give me compliments because they think that, like, I don't think that I'm enough. Or, we can AD the crap out of this. Like, we can overthink this stuff like there's no tomorrow. But it's based on what we believe to be true about ourselves. And when we come back to that point of view of, like, letting go of the badges of honor that we've been wearing that say we're enough because I've got this condition, or we're enough because I've got adrenal fatigue, or we're enough because I've exhausted. So see, look, I've been using my energy. I've been doing productive things. We wear these badges in order to make ourselves feel like we are enough. We're lovable. We're worthy. When actually we were always those things all along. But we have been taught as we've grown up that we're not those things. And coming back to ourselves is actually secretly embracing, well, it's not secretly, it's openly embracing the things that we secretly know are there. Like that we are lovable, that we are enough, that we are worthy, that we are all of those beautiful things. It's embracing that knowledge that we know is internally within us and actually allowing it to be outwardly expressed so that those around us can start seeing it as well. I had a beautiful conversation with one of my clients last night where I was sharing that this gift that I gave myself a couple of years ago was to say, I'm absolutely amazing. I am so freaking amazing that it is an honor and a privilege to spend time with me. Like, it really is a privilege to spend time with me. It's a privilege to be in my space, to use my time, to be in my presence. It's really a privilege for that to happen. And as I really felt into that and I gave that gift for myself, what I did was recognize that it's a privilege to spend time with me. So therefore my time is valuable. My time is worthy, and I get to put boundaries around it. I get to protect some of my time with my kids because it's not going to last forever. I get to have these boundaries that support me and keep me nourished and keep me well in order to continue to have the life that I love. And as I felt more and more into these boundaries, but also the knowledge and that knowingness of I'm amazing and it's a privilege to spend time with me, it allowed me to move into that space of going, you know what? It's a privilege to spend time with me, and it's an absolute privilege to spend time with you. It's an absolute privilege to spend time with you. My kids are getting noisy, so excuse them in the background, but I don't want you to miss this message of it is an absolute privilege to spend time with you. For you to open your Facebook and to see me and hear me and connect with me and stay listening to me is an absolute privilege. Because you are amazing. You are wonderful. You have been divinely created to be who you are in the world. You are amazing. And it's a privilege to spend time with you. And as you realize that and as you embrace that, you get to be who you want to be in your life because of that privilege. And you can give that gift to the people around you, and you can share with them, and you can encourage them, and we can lift each other up. Instead of what we actually see in our culture, which is to tear each other down so that people don't remember how amazing they are, so that they don't think that they're awesome, that they don't think it's a privilege to spend time with them. Like, that's what we see in our culture. Our culture is one of like deleting, suppressing, canceling, pushing you down. We get to change that culture. We get to be the people that lead this. We get to be the people that decide what culture we have as a community. We get to do that. But it has to start with us really embracing and really knowing who we are. And who we are is amazing. And it's amazing to spend time with you. And it's a privilege to spend time with you. Because we all are these divinely created beings. And for me, that is the space of where I do my work of like really helping people connect into who they have been divinely been made to be. So that they can make those divinely chosen choices of being divinely nourished. Of being nourished in all the areas of our life, knowing that spiritually we're enough, that we're worthy, that we're lovable, knowing that emotionally we have all those things and we can heal the wounds of the past, as well as physically knowing that we can be divinely nourished by the gifts of on high here. And that's the work of Divinely Nourished. That's the stuff that we're doing for the next 12 weeks. We're kicking off tomorrow, and we're going to be doing the work of like really looking at all of those areas where we've been shut down, we've been suppressed, we've been kicked, we've done all of the things. We've had, our hearts torn open, not physically, but from that metaphor point of view where we've, felt like we're bleeding on the page, where we've done all of those things. We can get healed from those. We can see them for what they are, and then we can make active choices to walk in divine nourishment. So that's what Divinely Nourished is. You're very, very welcome to join me. Melanie's in there. She can't wait. And I'm seeing some beautiful messages. Hey, Amanda, lovely to see you here. And it is a privilege to be in your space too. David is saying, it's a privilege to see and hear you today. You have helped me a lot. Oh, you're so very welcome. You're so very welcome. And that's what I do in the world. That's the work of my world, is to actually help connect people back to how they have been designed, which is amazing. Like beautifully and wonderfully made. Amazing. And connect you back into that voice that is, was always there with you, but has been shut down and been quieted along the way. Because we learn to do that. We learn, from the very beginning when we're born, we're like crying because we're hungry. We're crying when we're uncomfortable. We're crying to communicate with our magical big people about our needs. And then we get told to stop having those needs. This is when you're hungry. This is when you're allowed to be hungry. And this is how much you will eat. This is the food that you will eat. And we stop listening to that inner voice that actually guides us into what is good for our bodies, when we need it, how much we need of it. We stop listening to that inner voice of like that gut instinct that we have about, stepping into particular things, walking in a particular direction. And those things get shut down time and time again in our life until we get to that point where we forget that we even have that voice. We forget that we even have this connection with our body, and we are disassociated with it. We disassociate from our body and the information that it's giving us. We disassociate from the emotions and the feelings that we have. We disassociate from the spiritual connection that we have. And that's where I see a lot of my clients coming in, is that they've got spiritual disassociation, they've got emotional disassociation, and they've definitely then got some physical disassociation, where we have to reassociate them with their body, with their thoughts, with their heart and their spirit and all of that. And, you know, that's what Divinely Nourished is about. We're going to explore all of those areas where we have been disassociated, and we're going to start embracing, how do we reassociate them? How do we do that? What does that look like for my life? Which is might be different for somebody else's life. And we put down those badges of honor that we've been wearing that are saying, you know, I'm enough because I'm tired, or I've got this autoimmune condition and so therefore I can't do X, Y, and Z, or I'm fighting my body. We put down those labels, we put down those messages, and we go, what is our body trying to communicate with us? Because it wants us to be aligned in all of the areas of our life, not just the physical. What's happening in the physical is also happening in the spiritual and emotional. It wants us to be aligned in all of those areas. And so we get to put those badges down, and we get to learn to nourish ourselves in all of those ways, where we re-listen to the voice inside of us that is guiding us and directing us, teaching us where to go, prompting us to move in ways that maybe we don't choose for ourselves straight away. That we go, no, surely that's not something I should do. And that's when we get to kind of bless other people. When we act on those divine inspirations that come our way. So we're going to be talking about all of this in Divinely Nourished. I'll put the link in the comments later if you want to join me. But I want to leave you with this thought. Where are you sitting when I say it's a privilege to spend time with me? Are you somebody that goes, hell yes, I know that to be true? Or are you somebody that's sitting there going, oh, well, she must be up herself? Where are you sitting with that? Because that will help you start to figure out where you're currently at on the spectrum of loving yourself. Because when you can sit in the presence of somebody else saying, I am amazing, I am wonderfully made, I am divinely cherished, it's a privilege to spend time with me, and have me say it back to you and receive it fully, you know you're starting to walk in divine nourishment. All right, that's it for me today. I will catch you later, beauties, and I will see you around. Bye for now.